One of the things that I think people have, going back to this idea of like, if you start with these slow little stealing of freedom, it also happens with how people are told about a bad situation. So first it was, we're going to shelter in place for 2 weeks. Then it was, let's add another 2 weeks. Then it was, hey, here's another week. Now we're hearing Virginia, DC, a bunch of these states are saying June 10th. And the reason why June 10th is so important is, if you go back, let's call kind of when people started to really take this seriously, middle of March. You're now talking about March to April, April to May, May to June. So 3 months, 90 days where those businesses are not going to be turned on. Even if they could on day one turn them back on, hire everyone back and start paying them. You're going 90 days. There's very, very few people in this country who can go 90 days with no income and be okay.
Yeah. Oh, man. There's people that can't go a week.
Mm-hmm.
A week. Like the majority of so God has blessed me, and I'm not going to go into that, but I right now I'm trying to not stay like in the black. I'm trying to like stay right at the line and hire as many people as I can, because I have people even like in my immediate circle that have been laid off, have been furloughed, and they were 1 week. I mean, it took 5 days of no work for them to be like, hey man, do you have anything for me to do? And I was like, we'll figure it out. Like, yes, come on, bro. Let's figure it out. 1 week. Now you're talking 90 days of no income. That's a hard thing. If you've never been poor, if you've never like lived paycheck to paycheck, that's a hard thing to understand, where you get paid and you go and buy like enough white bread and the crappiest peanut butter and whatever brand, from Kroger or Vaughn's or Costco, not Costco because they can't afford a membership. Can they get the cheapest that will last the longest? And that's paid every single paycheck. Now you take one paycheck, immediately they don't have any food, immediately. So now they would go out on the street and ask for money, or they'd go and get a second job. But there's nobody driving and there's no jobs to be found. So not only do they not have any food, but they have no additional opportunity to try and to make up for that deficit. So now we're in the slippery slope of, 30 million people that are now immediately thrust into poverty. There's not really bouncing back from that. When we look at the similarities in the Great Depression numbers, how long it took for us to come out of that, it's a frightening thing. So when you're having conversations and people are having conversations about lives versus the economy, that's not what it is. It's really like, it's lives versus lives and freedom. And I really do want to highlight when you said, it wasn't just shelter in place. It was first, try to practice social distancing. And then it was, okay, try your best to stay home. Non-essential businesses stay closed. Then it was shelter in place. And then it was, in some places, like church congregations, not only can you not congregate in social distancing, if you do, here are the new laws that you're going to be violating. And I mean, so like, I have a lot of land. Let's just say I wanted to, on top of this hill, put a big microphone and say, all right, church, we can meet in my field. It's a beautiful day. I have X's, and all of the X's are measured to be 6 feet distance from everybody. So you have to stand on your X. We'll all worship together, regardless of Buddhist, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, whatever, because that's like the point. And like, we can't do that. Think about that. Like, the government has said that we cannot assemble. We cannot assemble even in the limitations of distance. We cannot assemble in da-da-da-da. And the few ways that we're able to converse about this is kind of through social media. And that in itself is a limited form of our ability of free speech, because every one of those different platforms to communicate has its own agenda, and each of those limit what kind of conversations can take place and who can participate in those. So really, like, the First Amendment is gone in a month. It took 1 month for us to be like, okay, we don't need that one anyways.